And today I get the privilege of sharing with you why I'm so proud to be a Blue Ridge graduate. My journey with Blue Ridge began about 10 years prior to graduation when I started taking non-credit computer courses, Word, Excel, the basics. And then one of my bosses at the time said, you need to start taking business management courses. And he said, I'll give you 2 reasons why. First, he says, it'll better help you understand the business of tool repair, which was the department I worked in at the time. And it functioned like a business within the bigger business and how it worked. And second, he said, it'll position you for future growth and opportunities. Good advice indeed. After I had enough credits completed, I was able to join the honor societies here on campus. Phi Theta Kappa, the Academic Honor Society, and Alpha Beta Gamma, the Business Honor Society. And because my studies were business, I want to make sure I focus my efforts on the Business Honor Society. So I started volunteering, helping out, and in the process earned a couple service awards. I was actually the first Blue Ridge student ever to be both an ABG member helping to put on that year's Career Expo and an exhibitor at that same expo when my company allowed me to represent them here. And it was very interesting to see that one event from both sides. Afterwards, a lady from Human Resources contacted me, and she had a few questions like, what's ABG? What did you do? And what did you feel you've learned? Later, I had the honor of being co-president alongside of fellow ABG member Dustin Wilkins. And Dustin and I had the privilege of taking our chapter on its very first trip to the national convention. Now, if you know anything about national level academic competitions, you realize that a chapter's first trip is a learning experience. There's no expectation of winning awards or anything like that. Fortunately, our faculty advisor, Dr. Audrey Pursley, never passed that information on. And at the Saturday evening of the award ceremony, not only did I have the honor of winning an individual award, but our team actually went on to win over half of all the awards given out that evening. Much to the displeasure of the other teams, I'm proud to report. But Blue Ridge did not just help me personally, it also helped me professionally. At this same time period, the Great Recession reared its ugly head, and one of its casualties was my place of employment. Of the 85 people that worked on the shop floor at the time of the closure, there are only 5 who were initially offered transfers to stay with the company. Now subsequently they did ask a few more, but initially there were only 5. And I was blessed to be one of those 5. And I give a lot of credit right here to Blue Ridge Community College. I spoke with various people after the fact, and I heard things like, well, you're pursuing your educational goals. You're demonstrating leadership potential by your involvement in the Business Honor Society. You're going above and beyond by representing your company at the Career Expo. One man went so far as to say, you've done all the right things to keep yourself employed in the midst of this. But it didn't stop there. Approximately 6 months after transferring to Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, the other Waynesboro, I had an opportunity to apply for a position in the production control department. Now this is the department responsible for scheduling, loading, prioritizing, expediting, things like that. These are the people whose daily job is to marry customer needs to our products and services using flow management so as to maximize throughput and to give each an exceptional customer experience. Now at the time I did not have my degree completed, but I was in pursuit. And I had listed on there, Blue Ridge Community College, business management curriculum, number of credits completed, honors level GPA, things like that. When the interview began, they said, we like what we see here. We can see that you're not just attending college. We can see that you're actually getting involved and putting forth effort. Afterwards, the lady who would eventually become my supervisor asked me, she says, if you get this position, are you going to finish your degree? And I said, Becky, I'm going to finish my degree at Blue Ridge no matter what it takes. So for the next 3 years, I drove 140 miles one way, one night a week after work, so that I could finish here at Blue Ridge. Now I know what you're thinking right now. I know what you're thinking right now. Why? The reason's very simple. You see, people have a tendency to hold on tightest to that which means the most to them. And by this time, Blue Ridge meant something to me. Not just the place, but the people. It was here that I was not only taught, but I was mentored. It was here that I was not only encouraged, but inspired. And it was here that I was not only told I had potential, I was actually given opportunities to reach a higher level of it. So it was here that I wanted to finish. I started coming here for nothing more than a little help with some basic computer courses. And I left with all the above and then some. That's why I'm proud to be a Blue Ridge graduate. In a world that seems to doubt the value of education at times, I can tell you there's no doubt in my mind of the value of Blue Ridge to me. I wouldn't trade my Blue Ridge experience for anything. Yes, the drive was long, the effort was hard at times, and the worry was real, around finals especially. But the drive, the effort, and the worry was worth it. As Dr. Downey mentioned, I've been with TE Connectivity for 22 years, with the last 10 as a material planner. And I'm proud to be a part of the production control team. They're a great group of people. I'm also very proud of the role that Blue Ridge played in helping to make that happen. Quite frankly, I have a lot to be thankful for. God has blessed my life, and Blue Ridge has been a part of that blessing. So as I close my remarks today, I want to close by saying thank you. Thank you to Blue Ridge for everything you've done for me. Thank you to the Educational Foundation for what you're continuing to do here on campus and for giving me the honor of speaking here today. Also want to say thank you to Dustin Wilkins. Dustin and I were a great team as co-presidents, and we're great friends to this day. I couldn't have had a better co-president in Dustin, and I couldn't have done it without him. Also want to say thank you to Dr. Audrey and Dr. Jerry Pursley. They were not only my teachers here, they were my mentors here. In fact, I say this humorously but seriously when I say that my academic success here is their fault. And finally, I want to say thank you to you, Dr. Downey. Thank you for the trust you've placed in me and for the encouragement and inspiration you've been along the way. Thank you.